race for governor, it's between the Democrat Josh Shapiro and the Republican state senator Doug Mastriano. So Mastriano is like one of those guys you're not allowed to talk about or like because like he is absolutely beyond the pale somehow, sort of like Carrie Lake was. You can't mention their names or something. Maybe that's because he's actually pretty impressive. He served for 3 decades in the U.S. Army. He may be able to flip the state of Pennsylvania politically, and we are honored to have him join us now. Mr. Mastriano, thank you so much for coming on. It's just interesting. They identified you early as someone who was a threat and tried to make you completely unacceptable even to talk about. You must have been, after 30 years in uniform, were you surprised to see this?
I actually was. You thought maybe the establishment would welcome a career soldier. 30 years in the Army, from the Cold War to Desert Storm to Afghanistan, multiple tours, and loving our country. And instead of riding off to the sunset for a comfortable retirement, I couldn't do it, Tucker, because the country really is flailing. And so stepped into the arena. All the experts out there and all the polling places said there was no way I could win the primary in Pennsylvania, that
Yes.
I'd cap out at 20-some% in one of the most contentious primaries in Pennsylvania's history since 1978, at least. We won with almost half the vote there with a mandate, and our movement is huge. We're going to take back the state, and it's very important. It's just not another gubernatorial race. I mean, I believe the future of the nation is hinged upon the outcome in Pennsylvania at the governor level, because not just because of our history as the birthplace of our nation, but also we're sitting on what I call freedom gas and oil and coal. So on day one, we're going to drill and dig like never before and hopefully lead our nation out of this economic malaise that we're in.
And you're running against such a cookie-cutter hack who's just like every single other person in charge. I mean, is there anyone in Pennsylvania who thinks this is going great, I just want a little more of this?
We're not safer. He's been the attorney general for 6 years, and John Adams, our second president, said facts are stubborn things. On my opponent's watch as the attorney general, crime has gone up nearly 40%. Homicides are record levels in Philadelphia, on track for 600 this year. 1,000 carjackings, 4,000 robberies. I mean, it's insane. And the entire state is watching it collapse. Fentanyl, 4th worst in the nation. 12 to 15 Pennsylvanians dying every day. And it's ironic, Tucker. Just a couple days ago, my opponent tweeted out, "We need to do something about crime." I'm like, dude, where you been the past 6 years? So he is too radical for our state. I know.
I mean, he's literally the chief law enforcement officer of a state that's falling apart because of crime and drugs. Like, maybe he should have to answer some questions. Doug Mastriano, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you very much. Don't seem radical to me.
Thanks for having me on. God bless you.